Well, hello internets, here we are. Have ourselves a little bit of a video going on in my head. I thought that I would put it out there and see how it goes. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. Well, it's Father's Day. Many families are gathering together for Father's Day, having a barbecue or a meal out or family time or however it goes. Some families don't have the father to honor on this day, so sometimes it turns into a grandfather's day or the next male kind of role model, or if all that fails, then sometimes it's just family time or even just another day. As for me, I had obviously had a father. My dad was around for probably the first, well, he was around for most of my life, but he was around as a full-time dad for probably the first 10 or so years of my life. And then my dad started to become sick, and his role as the father figure kind of started to change. Some of the things that he used to do, he could no longer do. And some of the things that he wanted to do, he could no longer do. And sometimes he wasn't healthy enough to come camping or to spend time with family like he wanted to. I remember when I was younger spending a lot of time with my grandma and grandpa, which would be on my mom's side. My grandpa kind of turned into another father figure kind of thing. Some of the stuff that I learned from my dad has been combined with the stuff that I learned from my grandpa and such, and kind of made me who I am today. My grandpa could take a pile of discarded wood, like basically firewood, pellet wood, garbage wood, and he would patiently pull out all the nails and save them. He would basically use the wood to rebuild a shed or a barn or a corral, use the wood around the farm, the acreage, for things. And I remember spending time out there helping Grandpa patch roofs or build things or pull nails, and he had pails upon pails of bent rusty nails that most people would have just discarded because, well, they're no good, right? He taught me how to pound a bent rusty nail and reuse it into another piece of wood. My grandpa taught me a lot of patience and how to deal with things better and how to understand how things are, and some of the pearls of wisdom that he learned when he was my age. As the years went on, my role as, I don't know, kind of not replacing my dad, but substituting for my dad changed. And I remember having to change alternators and starters in the rain for my mom because my dad couldn't do it. I remember riding my bicycle to the parts store because no one else could. No one else would bring the parts to us. I remember quite an interesting life for a child before the age of 16. there was a lot of things going on with my dad. I know that he wanted to be there. I know that he wanted to be a part of things, but sometimes his health and such wouldn't allow it. I remember back when Dad was healthy, going to the body shop with Dad, working on cars, taking cars apart with Dad, and unmasking vehicles after he had painted them and stuff. And my dad taught me a lot of my hands-on mechanical type of things. As the years go on, I found myself in, well, adulthood, and my dad underwent a large surgery that kind of messed things up a bit. And I chose to stay close to home because there were a lot of changes going on, and we ended up ourselves in Calgary for a few months, Mum and I, sleeping in our car while Dad was in the hospital. And then we ended up, of course, during all this, having to give up our place to live. So we were essentially homeless. And when Dad got sent to Saskatoon for the follow-up treatments and stuff, we moved to Saskatoon, and I thought, well, okay, this is where I guess I'm going to live now. So I started putting down roots, trying to find a job, and it was impossible to get around. I didn't understand the bus system and transit system and that, so I was trying to ride my bike like I always did, and it was hard to do in a city, a large city that size. So with the support of my mum and dad, I got my driver's license. My dad, during this, had put all his auto body tools and stuff into storage, and the guy that we were using the storage from sold everything, all of Dad's tools, all of our treasures, all of our stuff, without even talking to us. One day we went to storage to put some stuff in and such, and everything is gone. Everything is gone. Everything is gone. All of our treasures, and it was quite the thing. We tracked down the new owner of the building, and yeah, it turns out he bought everything, all contents and all everything. He knew one day somebody would come looking for the tools, at least. And of course he didn't have any money, or wasn't willing to. Well, legally he wasn't even obligated to do anything. But he had a rusty old import Isuzu truck, and he was willing to give the Isuzu truck as a token of, you know, minimal kind of thing, kind of go away and leave me alone. And we took that truck as kind of on trade on Dad's tools. Dad taught me how to drive standard on that truck. I couldn't drive a manual transmission before then. At least not efficiently anyway. Then Dad taught me that sometimes to fight with somebody over something that you're never going to win on, sometimes it's best just to walk away. Or in this case, if they were generous enough, kind-hearted enough to give you a rusty truck as your first truck, then well, take it. It was a gift, right? As my dad became older, a little bit sicker, a little bit weaker, you know, things kind of transitioned more into me being the, I don't really want to say head of the household. I started making more larger choices, bigger choices without consulting even my dad, sort of choices with my mum on behalf of the family. we went through a lot of changes. In the end, I ended up looking after my dad for probably solo for probably almost 10 years. And then when Dad moved out on his own, I was still helping out getting groceries and doctor's appointments, as well as balancing my own life. In 2016, Father's Day changed for me. And the next year round, 2017, we go out to Dad's grave, have a little barbecue, have a little quiet time kind of a thing, share a couple stories about Dad, share a Pepsi with Dad, and you know, maybe go to Dad's special spot and have a barbecue, maybe not, then come on back for another year. As the years go on, I try to carry on that little tradition, even if it's just me that does it now. However, the last couple of years I haven't been able to make it out. Whether it's, well, being short of money for fuel, which is a big thing, or things going on in my life that I just can't physically make it out there. I know last year I promised to go out there and didn't do it. And Father's Day came and went this year. And so far I haven't been out there yet. My dad was a big part of my world for many, many years. And then one day he wasn't there. I know some of his information was outdated, but sometimes just his antiquated guidance, him being there to bounce ideas off of, somebody to talk to, somebody that kind of understood me, because, well, he was much the same as I am. You know, he knew some of the stuff that I was going through. I miss my dad very much. But that's kind of the way life is, kind of the way things go. I am so glad and grateful that I had a dad, had a father figure, had a grandfather figure for as many years as I did. Some people don't at all, and you look what kind of mess is going on and what kind of mess they are in and stuff like that because of all that. Even though sometimes life with Dad was a bit of a struggle, you know, he was my dad. He was supportive. He was very there when I needed him to be. Even in his rough times, he would do the best he could to solve problems, even problems that I didn't ask him to solve. Sometimes not doing it properly, sometimes creating other issues, but hey, that's kind of the way it is, right? I again miss my dad every day, and I try to continue on as best as I can in his memory. But that's pretty much it for this video. I thank you guys all for watching. Leave your memories below, your comments below on your own dad or grandfather, or if you had a dad or didn't, or a special uncle that kind of filled that spot. But if you made it to this part of the video, I thank you guys again. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.